Hey Kai,
Hey Sam.
how are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing good, doing good. Where are you right now?
My exact location is my sister's room, but I'm at home right now.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure if you were still in Binghamton or got back home to Illinois.
Yeah, I got back just with everything happening in New York. Didn't know how the traveling would be, so I just came home.
Yeah, doing good?
Yeah, I'm trying to stay busy, but definitely not how I saw myself spending the last part of my senior year, but I'm making the most of it.
I know, seriously, that's tough. Not getting too sick of your family either.
You know what? We made it a good like 2 weeks before that happened for me, but we're averaging like a solid 3 arguments a week.
All right, that's not that bad. I would say the average in the American household is probably above three per week. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we're gonna try to cut down a little bit as the weeks go by, but I don't know if that'll happen.
That's good. All right, so let's start. I heard you're interning with the marketing department. Tell me about that.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So I started working strictly with our manager of ticket sales back in February, and that's expanded since then to our deputy AD, our communications director, and our AD of corporate sponsorships. So I've been working on a few different tasks, but our main task is to create a season ticket holder campaign for men and women's basketball. So for the upcoming season, we're going to try to target new season ticket holders and encourage our current season ticket holders to renew. Additionally, we're trying to increase attendance, so improving in-game atmosphere for home games and fan experience. And then lastly is just content creation to keep fans and the Binghamton community engaged on our social media platforms and our website.
Cool. So when did you start working for them?
That was, I think, early February.
Okay. Yeah. So around the you were still playing at that point, I guess.
Yeah.
So now that you have a little bit more free time, what I guess going back to when you first started, what made you want to get involved in that capacity?
Yeah, so I'm a marketing major, and I see myself continuing in the field of pursuing both marketing but also sports. So obviously, I love the game of basketball, and I think it would be amazing if I could still continue to work in that field. And I figured what better way than to get involved with our athletics department. So I was able to see different ways in which they marketed certain players on my team, on the men's team. So I thought that was really cool, and it was something that was personally relatable. So it's been a great experience so far.
All right. Since you've mentioned your future in terms of where you want to be, what you want to do, what's your dream job right now?
Oh, wow. My dream job. I would love to get a job working in the league, either with the NBA, WNBA, even possibly for another university. But I just think, basketball is where I want to be.
Like I said, player of the year this year. Are you going to try for the WNBA before on the court before you work behind the scenes?
Uh,
You're getting a lot of love on these comments. I'm a man of the people. This is what they're saying.
oh, yeah, I hope none of those are my dad.
All right, a lot of love. They're saying you're the goat and all of that. I know you're popular on campus, so Kai. So, what has it been like? Obviously, your season was not cut short by this whole pandemic, but I'm sure you have a lot of friends in Binghamton, that were playing spring sports or what have you that had their lives affected. So how are you, what are those kind of conversations between your friends like, and how are you guys all getting through this together?
Um, I think I actually have a friend who both of her parents got the virus because they're nurses and working in the field. So I think that's the closest that I've been touched personally to knowing somebody who has had the coronavirus. But just in having friends that have all come home now. For about like the first few weeks, I, would just text them and talk to them and just see how things were going. I know it was hard for, a lot of my fellow seniors because they don't have a graduation. A lot of schools have canceled. I know Binghamton has postponed, so I'm happy about that and potentially having a chance to walk across the stage and, in front of my family. But we actually, one day I went out with a couple of my friends and we got in our cars. We met up at the high school we went to, and we just sat on the hoods of our cars, like 6 feet apart, and just like ate snacks, talked about how our years had gone. And, that's something that I wouldn't have been able to do had I still been at school. So I'm trying to look at the positive, and I think so are my friends as well.
Well, that's a great way to look at it and stay positive for sure. Glad you social distance in the process of doing that as well. That must have taken you right back to high school on the hood of a car. I can picture it.
Yeah.
Um, what? Yeah, I guess how are you feeling about this whole thing in terms of not being able to walk at graduation and still like we talked about being involved in Binghamton and the community there, but from afar.
I think it's been difficult. I still reach out to my teammates a lot and just, see what they're up to. We just had a team meeting today, so that included the new girl that'll be coming to the school as well. Um, I don't know if it's hit me yet in terms of, when I'll be graduating, that time won't be there. It's definitely weird though to just have this feeling of knowing what's going on and also not knowing what's going to happen in the future. So I think that's just been the biggest adjustment. And I had one fan who had a birthday. I was able to make a video for her. So in different ways, you can keep in touch with the community like that. I think is still great. And with Zoom and things like that, keeping people connected, I think that's really great.
One thing that I'm almost positive that you did watch was The Last Dance. As a Bulls fan, how much are you loving that right now?
I love it so much more because of the fact that it's actually, I wasn't born during any of that, but it's like watching the Bulls when they were good, and it's like, okay, like it's like you can take some pride in, being a Bulls fan and stuff like that. And we haven't really had much success since Derrick Rose left. So I think that's great. And Michael Jordan's my favorite player of all time. So just seeing all this footage that you've never seen before. And I think seeing more of his personality at that time, I think is really cool. And, seeing his work ethic and how he approached the game from a mental standpoint, I think is something that a lot of like real basketball players can relate to.
What was it like for you growing up in that area in Bulls culture?
So yeah, when I was like fifth grade, sixth grade, that was like Derrick Rose, kind of near like his prime and stuff like that. So they were playoff bound, I think, pretty much consistently. So those games, I remember like playoff games against like the Cavaliers, the Miami Heat, those were like really intense and fun to watch. And then just growing up in the Chicago area, the competition is always really competitive. And a lot of the teams that come out of the city are great, and teams that can stack their teams because they may be like a private school, or in the city you have the opportunity that some schools to you just have a city address and go to school, so you have powerhouses. But I think that helped mold me into a better basketball player. And just knowing that there's so much competition right around the corner. And it was great that there was a lot of girls that, really cared about the game, and a lot of people that made it easy for women's basketball or girls basketball at that point to get a lot of exposure. So that's what it was like, at least for me growing up here.
All right, I want to do a little top five while we're running short on time in terms of top five favorite basketball players all time, male or female. Who do you got?
Ooh, okay. Definitely Jordan, Kobe, Steph. Ooh,
Guards.
God.
You're biased so far. The guards.
I know. I know I'm gonna leave out people that I really, really like. Candace Parker's from my area. I really like Candace Parker. Um, and God, who's gonna be my last one? Um, I'll go with AI.